Okay, so we're going to start off with the leadership part, and then hopefully people will join in a little bit later on around 7 o'clock for sales. But there is so much exciting stuff. I just can't wait to tell you all about it. And I'm sure you have already started strategizing and planning because, you know, this all kind of came out last week. And I've been trying to send information out your way. If there's any documents that we go over that you don't have, just let me know and I can send them back out to you, because last I checked, they had not all been posted online. So the first thing we're going to talk about, see if my screen will move here. Can you all see my slides? Okay, great. All right, so vacation like a boss. Oh my gosh, do you know how jealous I am that I don't get to go on this with you? This is absolutely incredible. A trip to Atlantis in the Bahamas, all inclusive, and they really mean it. It is airfare, travel to the airport, baggage fees. I mean, it is everything covered, everything when you're at the resort, and you can earn it for yourself or yourself and someone else. And it's not one of those incentives that we do where, you know, it's like the top 20% of executive leaders and the top 20% of regular leaders. And it is a you do, you get. So I really hope to see, you know, just a ton of people on this trip from our district, because it's completely up to you. There's nothing hindering you from getting it as far as having to be in the top. So let's look at this. Well, let me go back 1 second here. First of all, if you do not have a passport, now is the time to start looking into that. Make sure you've got all the documents you need for it. They're going to post the winners for this on, I think, May 2nd, and the trip is on June 11th. So there really won't be enough time to be 100% sure that you're going to get your passport in time if you wait to see if you made it. So you'll probably want to start looking into that like in April and make sure, I don't know the cost off the top of my head. I should probably look into that. Make sure, you know, if you don't have a passport or if it's expired, check out the prices for it so you can prepare for that as well, which let me tell you, if you earn this trip, you're going to be earning a lot more money by earning the trip with the actions that have to occur to get it. So you'll have the money for that passport for sure. So here's how you do it. Very simple, pretty cut and dry. $300 a campaign. If you personally sell those, you're going to get 75 leadership points. So that would be you. It's not your team. That's all up to you. Okay, so these points are going to add up. And I know they're called leader points, but they aren't to be confused with any other point program that we have. It's not PRP points. It's not leadership performance points. They're just leader points for this program. So you need 2,500 leader points for a trip for one, 4,000 leader points for a trip for two. So, you know, many leaders are top sellers anyhow. Almost every leader, I think, in this district is in President's Club. So all you need is a $300 order each campaign, and for every campaign which you have that, you're going to get 75 points. Now, if you have a $600 order, you don't get 150 points. It's just 75. So realistically, if you have this in campaigns 3 through 9, you are going to have 525 points right off the bat taken care of. The next is, of course, adding team members. So when you add a team member from an Avon source and they are a qualified new recruit, which we're going to talk about what that means because the definition has changed. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But when they are a qualified new recruit from Alma, you're going to get 150 points. Now, we like all new team members, but we really like those personal recruits the most. They are our favorite. They're more likely to have a relationship with you. They're more likely to stay. And they're more likely to respond to texts, emails, things like that because they know you. So when you recruit from a personal source, you're going to get 300 points, okay? The next thing is if you advance in leadership title, okay? And they're looking at what your leadership title was in campaign 2. So not your earnings title, but your actual achievement title, okay? So if you were at risk, you're a silver ambassador, but you were earning as an ambassador, they're looking at your title as that silver ambassador. So that is 1,000 points. The next thing is if you mentor someone in your first generation, to promote achievement title. Now they would have, promoter and star promoter don't count as achievement titles. So it would be ambassador and above from there. So as you can see, 2,500 points for one person, and I'm going to show you some strategies to do that, or 4,000 points for two. There will also be a buy-in option for you to bring someone else, and they just have to be at least 13 years old, have a U.S. passport, and all that information's on the FAQs. It doesn't say you can't bring your manager, so I'm just saying. If you really need a buddy, I guess I could go. No, I'm just messing with you. But the great thing about this is we truly can say every single representative is eligible to earn this. Now, it is true, you would have to find team members. So yes, that's true, but you don't have to already be in leadership. You really don't have to even be a top seller. I mean, $300 a campaign isn't even selling at President's Club level. So this truly is a trip that absolutely everyone is eligible for. All right, anybody have any questions about it? No? All right, so let's get into some strategies here. Vacation like a boss. Okay, so like we said, if you have 525 points from sales, that's something you definitely have a lot of control over. We don't have as much control over whether or not a representative is going to place an order, and if they do, is it $150? Is it paid for on time? Okay, so your qualified new recruit, this is how many you would have to have if you are looking for a ticket for one and you've got all your sales points covered, okay? So traditional recruits are 300 points. So you could have 7 traditional and 0 ALMA. You could have 3 traditional and 8 ALMA. But this is just kind of a chart that does the math for you. And, I'm sure you can figure out how to do the math yourself, but this is just a really quick, easy way to look at it where you can say, you know what, I know that I can bring on 4 of my friends who either love beauty products or need additional income or like networking with other women. I know I can bring on 4 people in campaigns 3 through 9. And I feel really confident about those, okay? And they're people I know, and I think I'm good there. Well, then you know that if you can only do 4, you're going to have to do 6 of the ALMA recruits. Now, this isn't taking into consideration if you have a title promotion or if you have someone in your downline that promotes. So this is something, you may look at your title right now, and in order for you to have a title promotion by campaign 9, the increase in sales would be more dramatic than what you feel you can do. Or you may need maybe 2 more leaders to promote or something like that. It's where you're relying on more people in order to get there. So this is kind of like a surefire way where you're not really relying on those other leaders to do their part. But I know that you all are great motivators and cheerleaders and mentors. So if you have someone who is going to promote during that time and who wants to be your partner in this, now's the time to really start working with them and to start identifying who is really serious about this. Make your team. It might be you and 1 other person, you and 3 other people. Whatever it is, you are going to mutually benefit from this. They move up, you're going to get the points. They're going to get the points. And once they've been on an Avon trip, they're going to have a new appreciation for their business. And it's going to, it could even mean something different to their family. It really shows their friends, their family, their coworkers, a different side of their business and a different excitement from them. So here's another chart. This would be if you personally are going to advance in title. And I really like this one for someone who is, let's say they're currently an ambassador and, they really think they can get to that silver ambassador level. I'm sorry, we have the new changes to the names. So they're currently bronze ambassador, and we'll go over that in a minute here. And they really think that they can get to that silver ambassador level. Then right here, we're looking at 1,000 points there just from their personal title advancement. Okay. Now I'm waiting to get some information back because I'm a little bit unclear. It does say that the 1,000 points from personal title advancement are for ambassador and above. So I'm really not sure if that means that you have to already be an ambassador and above, or it means promoting to ambassador and above. If it means that that it's just promoting to ambassador and above, I mean, this would be a great plan right here for someone who is like a star promoter. They'll get 1,000 points just for that title promotion. They've already got their team going a little bit. They've got 2 people under them. So you can see here, all they would need if they have the sales and the personal title advancement are 4 traditional recruits. I mean, 4, and if they only are a star promoter right now, they probably haven't really tapped into that friends and family and invitation list as much as they really could. So I also emailed these out. Actually, I don't think I did email these out. I think I may have shared them with some managers, so I will send these out as well. And then this is something that another manager put together. This is a tracking sheet, so I'll make sure to send this out too. And it's just, you have, your invitation list up there at the top. You have the different ways you get to earn the points. It's kind of like everything on one page. And it's a great way to kind of bring you back in, to focus you on, okay, you know what, it's campaign 3, where am I getting these points from? And the activities that you're going to do to get the points. So I'll send that out to you as well. So who is motivated to go? Who really thinks they're going to Bahamas? Anybody out there? Hello?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Who is that?
That's me, Callie.
Hey, Callie. Are you going to go to the Bahamas?
I wish.
Well, we can make your...
No, really, I do. I wish I could be there.
Well, it's definitely something that you can earn. We were just going over the different ways to get there. Anybody else going to be there?
Why is my thing coming out?
Joanne, I know you're going to be there. I know you've got a lot of vacations planned this year. So, all right. So here's the next thing let's talk about. Ticket to Boss Life. Now, this is actually already started, but it's a really cool thing because, if you've ever bought a lottery ticket before, it can be really disappointing when you don't win. But I've never bought a lottery ticket where everybody is a winner. And that is what this one is. Okay. So you earn these tickets when you have personal recruits in campaigns 2 through 13 who place a first or second order that is at least $150 and pays for them on time. So these are not Alma, they're traditional personal people that you know, and Avon is going to send you this ticket. It's a scratch off. And when you get one, I would love it if you could either video, record it, you could bring it to a meeting, do it with your team, because you're going to win something. It's all the way up to $10,000. You could win an iPad, you could win brochures for a year, you could win $100. I mean, everybody is a winner. So really, really cool, because for all of those of you that are going to be going to the Bahamas, chances are you're going to be getting some of these tickets as well. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the leadership success path. And these are some slides that were from the Leadership Kickoff Summit that was in Arizona last week. And that's really where all this information came out. So you've probably heard a lot of it trickle down from Joanne. I know she was like so pumped up to tell her team about it. I was excited to tell all of you about it. It was just like crazy. I mean, every night it would be like 11:45 at night and I would have emails coming in about new programs and, representatives and managers texting me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Just all this great stuff to really, I don't know, it's like steroids for our business. Okay, it's just what we need right now. So really this is the path. Selling, right? Selling is always what we have to do first. Recruiting, got to do that, start our team up. Building the team, advancing in ranks, and then once you're advancing in those ranks, to do what many of you do already, which is finding those people on your team to help mentor so that they promote, okay? So here's what we've got coming. I couldn't believe it when I heard it. I had to like reread it several times, go over it with a few managers and like, am I hearing this right? Because this is like a lot of money. So this is the new recruiting bonus that you're going to get when you find anyone. It can be Alma, it can be a traditional recruit, but you're going to get a $20 bonus when their first or second order is $150 and paid for on time. Okay, so you're going to get that bonus right then. And then, now it starts in campaign 4, okay? So, really we're recruiting for campaign 4 and 5 right now. So not only are you going to get that $20 bonus, but get this, forever, you're going to get a 3% sponsor bonus on every single order that they place. As long as you stay active and they stay active, you're going to get that bonus. Now, if they remove, you're not going to get that from them anymore. If you leave Avon and then you come back later, you're not going to get that anymore from them either. But it's for every single new team member that you add onto your team from campaign 4 on. So, this right here is a raise. This gives you reason to, go out there and not be, just happy with the status quo. Oh, my team's doing okay. I'm getting a good paycheck right now. Well, you could get an even better paycheck because the people you bring on from here on out are going to be, in terms of, the percentage you're going to get from them, more valuable in those terms only. Okay. So you're also going to see increased earnings for all ambassadors in their second generation. Okay, so right now, ambassadors, the first level ambassador makes 1% on their second generation, and then silver and gold ambassador make 2%. Well, just immediately, starting in campaign 4, all ambassadors are going to see a raise to 3% on their second generation. Okay, so that means that if you are a bronze ambassador, which is now what we're calling that very first level, you immediately got a pay raise, which to me, that gives you more reason to work with that second generation. They are literally more valuable to your paycheck now. So for you to have communication with them is just all the more important. Not only that, but it gives you even more reason to start talking to your first generation about adding team members. Because before you were going to make 1% on them. Well, you know what? Now you're making the exact same amount you're making on that first gen. All right, so here's another one. Promotion bonuses are ranging from $500 to $20,000. So this is taking over the Rise Up program. Now, if during this time you earn these promotion bonuses and it turns out that making the money from Rise Up would have actually been more money for you, and you do it by campaign 6, which is when Rise Up ended, you're going to get the better of those two programs. So we're going to make sure that you get all the money that you had coming your way. We also have mentor bonuses ranging from $250 to $10,000. Again, taking over the Rise Up program. Kelly, would you mind muting your line?
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Keep on going.
Thank you. And then whenever you need, if you want to give us any feedback, of course, just unmute it. There's just a little bit of feedback going on there. So the payments for both of these bonuses will be paid out over 4 campaigns with a one-time grace campaign. Now, there's a lot of information on this page. We're going to go over it in more detail in the upcoming slides. All right, so the power of duplication, selling and recruiting alone, it takes longer to reach your earnings goals and your limits on how much you can earn when you put all of that on you. You're doing all the selling, you're doing all the recruiting, you don't have those team members that are doing it with you. Many times in order to reach the financial goals that you have when you're team building, it really just can't all, be on your own shoulders. If you want your team to grow this year, I know, Teresa, I'll use you as an example. You had some really great goals that you had, and we kind of went through like how many new team members you would have to add. And then, looked at your downline and like who would be, who also wants to grow, who could be responsible for bringing some of those people on. So it's, really about finding those on your team that also have goals to grow. You can want it for them, but they've got to want it for themselves. So if you can duplicate the amazing, trainer and mentor and recruiter that you are into your team, you're going to see growth that much quicker. So 7 ways that leaders earn. Here we go. You have your Generation 1 bonus, and that's the percentage that you make on your first gen. Your Generation 2 bonus, your Generation 3 bonus, your Gold Leader bonus, Executive Leader Cash bonus, your First Order $20 bonus. They're calling the additional 3% that you get a sponsoring bonus. We have rank advancement and mentor bonus. So I really like this slide because when people ask how you earn money from leadership, you can literally say, well, there's 7 different places that I earn it from. Whereas before, I mean, I might have, and I was, that's my own fault, but I would say, oh, you can make recruiting checks, and then you can also make a check every campaign if you have a titled team. And that was pretty much how I shared it. I want to say this now. Okay, so here is the new leadership earnings chart, effective campaign 4. So the first thing, as we look through this, we can see some title changes, right, in the names. Bronze, silver, and gold for each level. And the reason that they did that is because primarily of the leader level. I may introduce someone and say, this is, Susie Q, and she's a leader. And then she might really truly be at a leader level with this team that does like $9,000 in sales every 2 weeks. And, she's got this incredible business. And then I might introduce someone who is, has 3 people under them and they're still a star promoter, and say, oh, she's a leader. So it didn't really represent what the word was. So now we have bronze leader, silver leader, gold leader. So as you can see, that's the first change. When we talk about this 3% sponsoring bonus, I want to make sure you understand, that's in addition to the money that you're already making on your first generation. So, you could have a bronze ambassador making 6% on her first generation, whereas a bronze leader who was previously called a leader was making 6.5% on her first gen prior to this program. That's incredible. Another thing you see on here are personal sales for promoter and star promoter of $50. Okay, so that means that in order for a promoter or a star promoter to get that 3% check from the people in their downline that they recruit from campaign 4 and on, they themselves have to have at least a $50 order that campaign. So just like how when you don't have your sales that campaign, you don't necessarily get your check, they have to have a $50 in personal sales. And they don't have leadership points that will cover that. You don't start getting those leadership points until you are titled at least the bronze ambassador level. Okay. So there are more changes, and we're going to get into those in the next few slides. We can also see these promotion bonuses right here, starting at $500, and the mentor bonuses starting at $250. And I should probably say where they end up. $20,000 and $10,000.
Michelle?
Yes.
Can you go back for a second? I want to add something, 3% bonus that's for life.
Yes.
Even if you're at an ambassador, leader, or executive level, if you yourself don't have at least that $50 order, meaning let's say you did some returns, but they were able to pull over enough points to make you perform. If you did not have a positive $50 order, you may still perform and get your regular bonuses, but you're not going to get that sponsoring bonus because you did not have a $50 positive order.
So essentially everybody has to have at least a $50 positive order.
Right, without points.
Without points. Thank you for adding that. I did not know that. So here's a little bit of a breakdown. I just kind of put this together so that I could really easily say, these are the changes to this chart. 3% sponsorship bonus on all new team members added in campaign 4 and later. The 3% is indefinite. It's going to go on forever. And like Joanne just said, you've got to at least have the $50 order. So the $20 qualified recruit bonus, okay? 3% second generation bonus for all levels of ambassador. Promotion and mentor bonuses paid out over 4 campaigns with 1 campaign grace period. Kelly, can you please mute your line?
But Steph, but they're not able to hear me. They can hear all that.
Kelly, can you please mute your line? Excuse me 1 second here. Trying to see if it will let me mute her. All right. Okay, so these are paid out over 4 campaigns with 1 campaign grace period. All right, here's the great thing. We had a lot of people that promoted in 4th quarter, but let's say you promoted like in campaign 25, and with Rise Up, you had to keep it for 4 campaigns, the one that you achieved it, and then 3 additional. The problem was that, you know, if you made it in 25, and then 26, and then 1 and 2, I mean, those are the 2 roughest campaigns out of the entire year for the company because you just finished out the holidays. So some people promoted and really never got any of the promotion money from it. So in this particular program, you are paid out in 4 payments, assuming that you maintain the bonus or you maintain the title. Okay, so let's use, for example, Sarah promotes to ambassador, which is a $500 promotion, okay? And she promotes there in campaign 6. So she's going to get $125 because if we take the 500 and we divide it by 4, we're going to get $125 for each campaign she has it, right? So she's going to get $125 for promoting in campaign 6. And then if she keeps it in 7, she gets another $125. Now maybe she misses it in 8. That's okay. That's her grace period. And then she gets $125 in 9 because she keeps it. She gets it back. And then $125 in 10. Now it could be, so now she's got her whole $500. Now it could also be that she gets it in campaign 6 and then she doesn't keep it. Well, she still made $125. And the same thing with her mentor. The mentor bonuses will be paid out over 4 campaigns as well. So this way, it's not an all or nothing kind of thing. Even just for achieving that, you're going to get it. And we're looking at where you were in campaign 2. Okay, so again, looking at that title in campaign 2. Qualified new recruit definition. This is one of my favorite changes, okay, because we've all had a representative who placed a brochure order, or who, you know, she just had some stuff she really wanted to get for herself and she didn't want to wait 3 weeks to place her first order. And they don't reach the $150 mark, which is their goal for the first campaign of Kickstart. Well, that's changing. That campaign is changing, in which they need that $150 mark. So now new qualified recruit is someone who places an order of $150 or more in their first or their second campaign, and they pay on time. And as we're going to see later, the beauty of this is their first order is going to be 40% earnings no matter what size. Absolutely any size. So we can definitely encourage our representative, our new representative, you know what, we've got an order going in 5 days, and she's like, well, I need blush and lipstick and lotion, but that's all I need. Well, that's okay. Go ahead and place that order. Get those products. Start talking about those products. Use them. She's more likely to get excited and then have an order from other people where she's actually making that money the next campaign. The next thing would be the bronze, silver, and gold titles. And this is something that I just kind of noticed the other day because it wasn't spoken about in the webinars. Now, prior to these changes, all levels of ambassador only needed 3 first-generation orders. Well, here's what's changed. Bronze ambassador needs 3 first-generation orders. Silver ambassadors need 6, and gold ambassadors need 9. So, you know, we really may need to focus on that more than we had to in the past. In the past, we would just look at, do we have the sales? Do we have, you know, do we have at least 3 orders? And, you know, if we're at like a gold ambassador level or whatnot, you know, how are our leaders doing that are underneath us? So we really need to make sure that those orders are there. Anybody have any questions about the changes so far? Are you excited?
Michelle, I don't have a question, but I do want to go back to the promotion and mentor bonuses. You said that it is going to look at where they were in campaign 2. The campaign 2 is only for the vacation.
So what are they looking at for promotion for mentor bonuses?
First time ever achievements.
First time ever achievements. Okay, thank you. All right, so first time ever achievements for those bonuses, and the trip to Bahamas, campaign 2. All right, thank you for the clarification. Come on, go on to the next page here. Okay, so recruiting, effective campaign 4, regardless of rank, you can earn 2 bonuses for qualified new recruits or qualified new representatives who you recruit. Okay. Increased earnings for all level of ambassador. The payments for promoting or mentoring will be paid out over 4 campaigns with 1 campaign grace period. Qualified new recruit definition. And Kickstart. Okay, so previously to campaign 4, you know, your Kickstart sales goals looked very similar to this chart, except there were 6 campaigns, and the first order had to be $150 to earn 40%. Well, now they have 7 campaigns to earn 40%. And like I said, the first one can be absolutely any size. E-store items and fixed earnings items are still included at 40%. Okay, so I just think this is a game changer for us. Even when we talk about the business to people, it can, you know, maybe it's not the best time. You know, I really need to get started next month. It's not the best time right now, but, you know, I do need some Skin So Soft and a few other things from you. Well, you know what? Get started now, and that'll give you time. It'll give you about a month to place your first order from customers, but that first order that you place, let it be your own, and you can get 40% off. So there really are there's no fine print there. We're not saying it has to be, you know, at least $50 or anything like that. It's any size. Ticket to Boss Life. We already talked about that one. I must have let that sneak back in there. Okay, so recognition. We definitely have things to recognize from this fabulous team. So let's start with, we're just going to do the leadership recognition now, and then the sales meeting will go into sales recognition. But all aboard with onboarding, $20 bonuses. I know it says campaign 1 through campaign 2, but technically we didn't have anybody get one for campaign 2 on my reporting. And I believe this is, you know, if you see something different, let me know. But right now, I don't see anybody for campaign 2. So Anita had 1, Brenda Crooks had 1, Kathy Householder 1, and Joanne Potts 3. So fabulous. These were from the old All Aboard with Onboarding program and campaign 1. So way to go, ladies. All right, so let's get into the sales portion of things. I don't know if you saw my Facebook page, but this is me in all of my glory with no makeup on. Get a look, because you're never going to see it again. But I want to show you how to use some of the products that we're launching. And since I don't have a model here, you know, my model, Matt, is still at work. So it's just me tonight. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to put the product on myself and show you how it works. So we've got a message from Betty. We're going to celebrate some achievers, go over the new compensation plan changes for selling, and then some product knowledge. You know, new Avon is really into sampling. So we're going to talk about sampling and how that's going to help you and your team make more money. Social media for lead generation, and in case anyone else joins the meeting that wasn't on for leadership, we are still going to talk about the ticket to boss life and vacation like a boss, because there may be people that aren't in leadership that would love to hear about that. One last thing I'm going to say about leadership, and then that's it. If you have team members in our district who are currently inactive 4 or 5, they are going to receive, I don't know if I brought it over here or not, I don't think so. They're going to receive an RPS schedule, a letter from me, and a free brochure in a packet. I'll put them in the mail tomorrow, so they'll probably get it Monday. And just letting them know, they've been inactive. We don't want to lose them. They're really valuable to us, and it'll give them hopefully something to either share with their friends and family and get some orders, or maybe to place an order just to get their family's products if they're a personal shopper, the things that they're running out of. So I want to make sure that by the end of this, everyone understands the compensation plan changes, how to apply the new Anew sheet mask, information about the True Color Nourishing Lipstick, what makes it different, how could you sell it, as well as the mascara, how to use sampling to recruit and grow. And samples weren't really what we used to use to recruit. We were kind of told not to recruit with a brochure. So we're kind of changing things there. And then explaining the ticket to boss life and vacation like a boss if we have new people. All right, so Betty Palm, the president of social selling, has a video for us.
Well, Happy New Year, beauty bosses.
Oh, sorry. What happened there?
Can you believe it? It's 2017 already. Well, let's get this January sales meeting started. Well, a new year means new opportunity. And of course, New Year's resolutions. And I hope that you set some goals for yourself and your Avon business. And we are ready to support you in achieving those goals with exciting new incentives, innovative new products, and as always, all of us here at the home office are pulling for you and cheering you on. I'm also thrilled about the Rise Up incentive, which is continuing through Campaign 6 or Campaign 8 for you trendsetters. And congratulations to all of you who have already earned it. And I want you to keep striving for more, because there are no limits to how many times you can promote and earn bonuses. Now, you can find all of the details on Rise Up on youravon.com. But basically, when you advance in title for the first time and maintain that title for an additional 3 campaigns, you receive a great promotion bonus. From $1,000 for ambassador ranks all the way up to $7,000 for platinum executive leaders. And that's in addition to all of your other earnings. Well, my New Year's resolution is to give away lots of rewards. So keep working, keep selling, keep recruiting, and earn this incentive. And speaking of recruiting, always share our Kickstart program with your potential new representatives. New representatives can earn more than $1,000 in their first 90 days when they achieve the Kickstart sales and recruiting goals. That's a great way to introduce someone to a new business opportunity. I love that. At Avon, you can get rewarded for doing the things you already do to build your business. And focusing on your sales and making recruiting a priority, and then training your recruits in those same skills can earn you fantastic promotion bonuses and help you achieve all of your New Year's resolutions. Now, I know that starting a recruiting conversation may seem a little intimidating for some of you. So here's my recommendation. Start small. Talk to about 3 people, 3 new people every day about Avon. You connect with so many people throughout your day, probably more than you even realize. Folks you meet at the grocery store, in the school line, at the office, even on play dates with the kids at a park. Well, you always want to have your recruiting booklets and brochures on hand and ready to share. And make sure to include your contact information on the back so they can easily reach you. And while you're working, I want you to also begin to plan your trip to RepFest this summer. That's right. Now, this is big news, so I want you to listen up. We'll be taking Nashville and the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center by storm in August. Your feedback said it loud and clear. Nashville was the #1 destination you chose for RepFest 2017. And RepFest is an opportunity to invest in yourself and in your business. So please make it a priority to be with us. It's a time for you to come together with other beauty bosses from around the country, some of whom you might only know through Facebook. And those other leaders and representatives have great tips and ideas to share. And that doesn't include what you'll even hear on stage. Well, you'll be the first to see the newest products, including the most anticipated holiday lines, and you'll receive wonderful training that you could put into practice as soon as you get home. In short, participating in RepFest helps you energize and rock your business. So write this down. Mark your calendars for August 5, 6, and 7. Now that's over a weekend, which means less time off for work if you have a full-time job and more time to turn it into a family event. And now I want you to take advantage of every tip, every idea, and every tool that you're going to get here at this sales meeting to earn the Rise Up incentive, power up your recruiting, and prepare to get to RepFest. Make it a great January, and I'll see you soon.
All right. So who on the line knows they're going to RepFest? It's not that far from you all. Okay, I see Joanne out there. Who else knows that they're going? And come off mute and tell me about it. Teresa, are you going? She might not be able to come off mute right now.
I'm sorry, I was shaking my head like you could see.
I can't see everybody's picture right the way I had it set up. I apologize. So, I mean, look, it's not that far. It's not as expensive as Vegas was last year. And of course, I really think we're going to see a lot of top leaders there. What I would love to see from our district, though, are not just the top leaders, but, you know, for you all to take, you know, to find people on your team to come with you and really make it into that team event and figure out how much is it going to be per person for travel, for food. Come up with a plan now so that you can get those people on board and they can start saving. Correct me if I'm wrong. They didn't add it into the slides, but I believe the tickets are $139 and hotels are $169 per night, but you can have up to 4 people in your hotel room, same price. So $139 for the 3-day conference. You know, if you've got kids, you're not having to deal with them someone taking them to school for 3 days. You're only going to be miss what's out on Monday if you don't add an extra day. If you work, you could potentially only be taking 1 day off. Very, very doable. It is drivable, or you might find a great deal on an airline flight. Time to start looking is probably now. I would like to see a lot of top sellers there too. You know, so many times at these at those meetings, it's more the leadership from the district that I see, which is great, but I love to see the top sellers too. So let's go through some recognition. These were our Campaign 1 performers. New representative sales. Check these out. Incredible. Awa Nyang, $2,139. Tanya Roberson, and I see Tanya all the time on Facebook promoting her business. I know she wears the product, she talks the product, she sells the product, $1,084, excuse me. And then we look at sales just for every representative. This isn't just new. And we have Awa Nyang on there again, $2,139. And Teresa Widener, $1,454. Then we go to sales increase. So not surprisingly, we see Teresa on there again because we're seeing her increase over prior year, 1,378. Mary J. Jackson, 627. You know, campaign 1 is not, you know, it's no campaign 25. Let me just put it that way. So these are, you know, some really wonderful, wonderful results. And then eStore direct delivery. Mary J. Jackson, $194, and Mary Lohner, $112. In-district recruits with order. Well, we've got some opportunities here. This could be you. Title advancement could be you as well. And then as we talked about a little bit earlier, the all aboard with onboarding bonuses. Anita Albagali had 1, Brenda Crooks with 1, Kathy Householder with 1, and Joanne Potts leading the way with 3. Great job, ladies. So for those of you who weren't on the previous call, effective in campaign 4, regardless of your rank, you could have absolutely no one that you've ever found in Avon to be on your team. You can earn 2 bonuses for qualified new representatives who you recruit. So, you know, essentially this business is just really more fun to do with a friend, and it's the truth. You know, you go to a meeting or you want to get out and find customers. If you're like me, I'd rather, you know, go shopping with a friend or, you know, go out passing my brochures out with a friend than by myself. So $20 qualified recruit bonus. So you find that friend, you say, you know what, let's do this together. She joins your team by signing up on your eStore, and her first or second order is $150 and she pays for it on time. You're going to get $20. So that's nice, right? You can go to the movies, that could be a pedicure, $20. Well, guess what? It doesn't end there. Every single order she places for the rest of her Avon career, you are going to get 3%, even if you just have one person under you. Now you do yourself have to place a $50 order in the campaigns that you want to achieve that 3%, but you're going to get 3% of every order that they place. So pretty incredible. And when you find that new person, she comes to your team, her first order can be absolutely any size, and she's going to make 40%. So if you have thought about making additional income from starting a team and you don't really know what to say to people, you can let them know, you know what, we're going to help coach you. My manager or maybe your upline is going to help coach them and make sure they know how to do everything online and they're up to date on the programs. And guess what? You're going to get 40% off of your first order, or you could look at it as 40% earnings. Kind of depends if the order's all your products or if it's from other people. So representative earnings, there's some big news, okay? And this is for everyone on this call. Some things that are going to be happening in campaign 9. Now, I have heard it for the entire 3 years I have been with Avon. Really 3 years and like 2 weeks. But I have heard it from the beginning, and I've wondered it too. I'm like, why do you not make the same amount on your eStore that you do from your brochure, right? You're the ones out there promoting the eStore. You're getting your friends and family to order from it, but yet you're making less money. Because right now, if you're not President's Club, you make 20%. If you are President's Club, you make 25%, okay? Also, why are watches less earnings? I mean, they're still jewelry, and that just makes it confusing. So you're like, okay, I make 20% on a watch, I make 40% on this. I mean, it's just too much. So here's the deal. One more thing. If you didn't make anything on your order if it was under $50. So it kind of costs you to be a representative, right? If you're placing smaller orders like that. And we love all of our representatives. That means that if you're a personal shopper and you're just with us because you love the product and want to have your own account, then you might not have orders that are $50 every campaign, but we love you too. So here's what's starting in campaign 9. You are going to earn, starting from a $1 order, you're going to make money, okay? We're not saying it has to start at $50. So you're going to earn on every dollar of your sales. Simplified earnings. Guess what? Watches, we're calling them jewelry because that's what they are. You're going to make the same amount on watches that you do on jewelry and beauty. And my favorite part, your e-store and brochure sales are going to make the same amount. So we're going to stop having this, issue with the e-store kind of competing with your brochure. So, and sometimes you see those specials on the e-store, like spend this much, you're going to get this weekender bag. And your customers are like, well, how come I can't get that from you? Well, we're going to lessen those specials. So they're only a few times a year and they really are special. Okay. So you're not going to have that competition. So this will be the new earnings chart effective campaign 9. So this is the non-PRP earnings chart. There will be another one for PRP. So all of your President's Club representatives out there. And we'll go over that in a little bit more detail as we start to get closer. But check this out, okay? 0 to $149.99. You make 20% on beauty and jewelry, fashion and home, 20%, e-store, 20%, very clear. The next level is $150 to $299.99, 30%. And I mean, I love how they did this. It's pretty much like $150. You go up 150, then you go up another 150, and you're at the $300 mark. And then you go up $200, you're at the $500 mark. It's just clear. I mean, before it was like $440 and you made this, just really weird numbers. Very simple here. So you can make up to 40%. Now, you might wonder about your fundraisers. As long as you have those registered fundraisers, you're still going to continue to earn 50% on those. So you're good. I've also had questions about President's Club, like, well, are they going to make it harder to earn President's Club this year? And the levels to achieve are still all the same. Okay, so Sparkle Like a Boss, you can get these really super cute necklaces. And we've had this program going on from campaign 1, 2, and 3, and it's all about your personal sales. So you've got full control over earning this. You don't have to rely on a team. This is just about you. Okay, so if you weren't President's Club last year, if you didn't achieve it, then to get the Avon necklace, you just need $400 in sales from campaigns 1, 2, and 3. If you are President's Club, you need $1,500. But I love how one necklace is actually shorter than the other, so you can wear them together, because not only are you Avon, but you're an Avon beauty boss. And what a great tool for your business to wear that. You'll get, people commenting on it, and you'll be able to give them a brochure, possibly add a team member. So $600 in sales, and you get both necklaces if you're not President's Club, $2,500, and you get both if you are President's Club. And currently we have one achiever. I'm sorry? Does someone want to add something? Well, I take that back about the one achiever. My reports have not updated, so one was showing up. So I'm not even going to say, we'll wait till they all update, and then we'll go from there, because I was wondering why I didn't see more yet. But you still have a campaign to achieve this, campaign 3. So if you look at where you're at, add up your campaign 1 and your campaign 2, and you'll know exactly what you need in 3 to get there. If you need help with it, just contact your upline or contact me, and I'll help you. And for those of you with teams, this could really be a way to get some bigger orders from your, for your team to make better earnings. They might say, you know what, I've got $100 in sales, but I'm going to get a brochure out to a few more people so that I can get another $50 in sales, because that's all I need to get that necklace. So it could be the motivator that someone on your team really needs. And they might not even know how close they are. Someone could miss it by like a few dollars. All right, so let's talk about product and the reason why I have no makeup on, which obviously I feel very comfortable, right? Because I keep talking about it. Okay, we have these new sheet masks. If you went to conference this year, you got one, and I've been hoarding. I got like 3, and I've been hoarding 2 of them. I only used 1, and I'm like all like worried about, using it up or something, because I couldn't get any more. Okay, so these will be coming out in campaign 7. So I've got the campaign 7 what's new right here. All right, they're going to be $24.99 for a 4-pack. And I was thinking like $24.99. Okay, so that's $6.25 per mask, because there's 4 in the pack. So you could even maybe buy a pack and sell them single to let someone try it, and then they're going to love it, and you'll probably have a $25 sale right after that as well. Or just go straight for the whole pack. Normal price will be $30. And we're going to talk about why they're at that price as well. So we have brightening and firming. And I am going to be using the brightening mask. Maybe I need firming, but I don't know, maybe not yet. Brightening, you can see like some dark circles and it's just bad. So they are made out of Tencel. So let's find out a little bit about Tencel. It's stronger than paper. Okay, it's right there in between yarn and fabric. And give you a little bit more info on your Tencel. Give me a second here. I do have my cheat sheet. Give me just a minute. Actually, I'm going to go back one slide. All right, so we have the firming and the brightening. So the firming, which is the one I think I used before, but it's infused with royal jelly essence, and it's to immediately visibly lift, firm, and tighten skin. So great product to use for someone who's got an event to go to. You know, people are really into like those wraps right now, and they'll do them like before they've got a reunion or something. Well, this is something they can add to that beauty regimen. Then brightening is infused with white pearl essence to immediately and visibly refresh skin for a more radiant look. I mean, who do you know that doesn't want to look more radiant, right? All right, so we've seen sheet masks in other lines that, I mean, they are anywhere from like $25 a mask. So to come in at the price that we're at, definitely very doable. So let's talk a little bit about Tencel. It's more absorbent than paper, so it's going to hold more of the serum. And a lot of the ones that you can buy that might be like from Walmart or the drugstore, they're made of paper. They're not, you know, they can tear as you put them on. So Tencel comes from nature. It makes the use of made through the use of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the energy from the sun, and it's absorbed by different dye stuffs, primarily green chlorophyll, and then it's converted into chemical energy. So the starting products of carbon dioxide and water are converted into dextrose and oxygen, and the more Tencel fiber you have, the more oxygen. So if you're like me and you had to stay after school all the time for chemistry class because you just didn't get it, just think of it this way. There's more oxygen in these because they're Tencel. And you want oxygen for your skin. It's going to help it to be more radiant. And it's, you know, you can go to oxygen bars for energy, right? So why wouldn't you want it in your face mask? Okay, so here's how we put it on. Let me get my towel here. All right, so we're going to take it out. Remove it from the container, and I'm going to unfold. Smells amazing. This is where it's gonna get fun. Can you all still see me? I can't see all of you. Can one of you get off mute and let me know?
No, I can't see
Yeah,
you.
we can see you.
You see me? Okay. Here we go.
That grandma.
All right. So we just put it on, keep it on for about 15 minutes. Just really stays on your face. Make sure no one wants to FaceTime you within the next 15 minutes, anything like that. So you're gonna put it on. I had a clean, dry face. I didn't even have moisturizer on. I had completely washed my face. And then you just adjust the mask to kind of like fit the contours of your skin. Wait and relax, okay? You can grab yourself what do I have here? Cup of tea, right? And just, you know, pop some bonbons, put your feet up, live the life, right? So you're gonna keep this on, like I said, for 15 minutes. and then remove it and massage. So you can take it off, and this is a simulated exercise here, so I'm just going to take it off now. And you're going to rub that in, and then you can bring it down here into your décolleté, okay? You know, a lot of times women, we get wrinkles like right through here, even before we start getting those wrinkles on our face, because like I don't protect my chest from the sun like I do my face. We're going to rub that all in. You can sleep with whatever's left here on. It really does smell incredible, I have to say. Smells very nice. Okay. So pamper, protect, and correct in only 15 minutes. So, you know, it's not just about pampering. We're protecting and we're correcting our skin at the same time. And there's two different ones you can choose from right here. So I think probably a lot of women are going to go towards the firming, but the brightening to me might be for someone who, you know, if they don't want to do firming because they don't feel that they need that, who doesn't want brightening? So that might be for like your Vital customer who doesn't really have those early signs of aging yet. But you could also do both and just kind of go back and forth each time you do one, do a different one. All right. Anybody have any questions about the mask? All right, I'm going to put that aside for a minute here. So you are going to follow that with your daily regimen. Now, when I did it last time, I put it on at night, and then I did put my night cream over it, because since you're supposed to keep it on your skin, I didn't really know what to expect. So I thought, you know what, I'll just do it at night. And I think that nighttime is probably when most women do a mask. I don't think we get up early enough in the morning to add that to our regimen. All right, so the next thing is True Color technology. Now, we've had True Color technology in our products, right? But there's some things that didn't have the technology before that now do. So the True Color technology are rich pigments that are blended into our high quality formulas for guaranteed color that stays true all day. So what it means is the color that you see in the palette is going to be the color that it shows up as on your face. Or if it's polish, the polish in the container is going to be the polish color on the nail. We've all probably purchased a nail polish before where we put it on our nail and you've got to put coat after coat after coat to get the color that's actually in that jar. So that's kind of an example of it. And then also the color will last you all day, which everybody wants their makeup color to last all day. So the color you buy is the color you apply. There are no surprises. So who is it for? It's really for all women. I mean, our True Color technology just is the hallmark for Avon of, you know, of our good products. You don't want to buy an eyeshadow that's one color in the palette and you go to put it on and it's all chalky and you can barely see the pigment from it, which is generally what you find in, you know, inexpensive drugstore kind of cheap eyeshadows. And you're not going to find that in our products. So some new items and changes. We have a new Avon True Color Cuticle Conditioner, new packaging on the True Color Be Blushed Cheek Color. So that's a cream blush, very popular product for us. Generally, if you're going to use a cream blush, you want to keep with cream for everything else. You would do a cream foundation or, you know, base. You wouldn't do a powder. So you'd want to stick with that with everything. 21 new shades of Avon True Color Pro Plus Nail Enamel. And I think you can still purchase for like $1 maybe these nail polish rings from Business Tools. And when you order the polishes, which they're in the What's New for like, I think a little over $2. When you order those polishes, you can paint your wheel so that, you know, you can just keep those kind of in your purse. And when someone's picking out their polish color, you could have it right there. New wet, dry formulas and shades in the 8-in-1 eyeshadow palette. I love the 8-in-1 palette. I mean, I've used mine to where it just got, like, it just looks so bad that I threw it away because I just hadn't taken good care of it. But I was pretty much like obsessed with the one that I had. It was all these browns. But it was certain, like I hadn't taken good care and I had like foundation on it and all this sort of stuff. So I'm definitely going to have to buy this. And it's wet to dry formulas and shades. And then 3 new shades of Glimmer Sticks Brow Definer. So True Color Nourishing. Okay, so I have these products here with me. The True Color Nourishing products will go with the lipstick first. Okay, so 10 shades, full coverage, lasting color, and conditioning care. And, you know, generally women want a lipstick that's going to give them cover and condition, but sometimes that's hard to find. Sometimes you have to pick between the two. You might have one that lasts all day, but you're constantly applying, you know, moisture therapy to your lips because they're still dry. Or vice versa, it gives you the moisture, but it's wearing off and you have to apply every hour. So it's got an enter price of $5.99. And in your campaign 5, what's new, you can get samples of these new products, these new lipsticks. So right here, 10 new samples. You know, these are normally $1.50. I mean, that's a 10-cent or a 15-cent investment per lipstick bullet. So it keeps lips feeling conditioned and moisturized even after you take it off. It's infused with jojoba oil, vitamin E, collagen, and lanolin. I mean, collagen, right? That's an expensive product to have, and you want it in a lipstick because you want them to, you don't want your lips to get the wrinkles in them, right? So the collagen will help to give the, you know, fill that. Okay, so a little bit of a lipstick application. I'm actually going to stop sharing the screen for a second here so you can just see me. Okay, can you all see me? Take that as a yes. All right, so I have my palette here that I got at Christmas time. Just love it. And I'm going to start by doing a liner up here at the top. And I'm not going all the way into the corners. And then at the bottom, I'm going to do my liner just part way. Again, not going all the way into the corners. The next thing I'm going to do is start to fill. Okay. And then I'm going to apply my lipstick. Okay, now I didn't go into the corners because I don't want to cut my lips off there. I'm going to have a fuller look if I just do the top and the bottom. Also, I don't want my lip liner to bleed. Now, if someone is concerned about bleeding and they, especially when they wear reds, things like that, we have a Glimmer Sticks clear lip liner, and that will also prevent bleeding. So I could even put this around. And that will keep everything in place. All right. I'm going to start sharing my screen again. All right, can you all see my slideshow again? Can I get a yes or no? All right, I'm gonna take it as a yes. All right, so first we lined the lip. Okay, thank you. Then we defined the lip, then we shaded the lip. Enjoy the color of a lipstick with the feel of a lip balm. Another great phrase that, as it says here, a phrase that pays. So some pro tips. Here are some things, you know, and I still do actually, for friends and family, you know, if they have a special occasion to go to, they can come over to my house, you know, on the weekend, and I'll do their makeup for them. So some tips that I do, especially if they want this to last all day and they're going to an event, and this is something even I do though, even when I'm just out working in the field. I'm going to prep with concealer. So you can actually put concealer on your lips first, and it's going to start you off with a base, but it's also going to act somewhat like a primer. Make sure that your pencils are sharpened. We do sell sharpeners. And then soften your contours. So you can buy that lip brush that we have, and you can soften the contour a little so you don't have those like really sharp lines going around like your Cupid's bow and it doesn't look so, that's kind of like an 80s look to it. It can just look really soft and give your lips that full look. The next thing we're going to show is the Avon True Color Super Extend Nourishing Mascara. And I'm not going to lie, I am a girl who is totally sold on packaging. And I love this package. It's got a rose gold wand right here. And it's just a very classy package. I go to places like Sephora just to check out what other vendors have. And you'll see the mascaras from all the companies on this one display. And I always go to the one that I think looks the prettiest, and I would definitely go to this. So these are going to give longer, healthier looking lashes. And, if you've ever had this you may not have experienced this, but I know I have. I love mascara, and I have experienced mascara breakage. Okay, so it's like the mascara is so gooped onto my eyelashes that when I go to take it off, like I either pull a lash out or break it because I'm just rubbing and trying to get it off. Whereas this is actually conditioning, and we have it in a black, a brown, and a blue. So this right here is blue. I've never worn blue mascara. So let's check out what it's like. First thing we want to do is place the mascara. Okay. So we're going to place it right here, and then we're going to roll it up, and we're going to wiggle a little. And we can get a few different brush strokes there. This is a plastic brush with these tiny little nibs on it that catch on to the mascara and put it on your lashes. A lot of women pick their mascara based on the brush. And then we're going to do the bottom. Okay. And if you're going to purchase one of these as a demo, my suggestion would be to also purchase a pack of disposable mascara wands. Remember, these are single use only, so you may have to use more than one for a customer. You're not going to dip it back in, just one at a time. But the other reason why I really like these is, like I said, women pick their mascara based on the wand. So you can even just share the wand with people. I mean, it's rubber, it's bendable. It's definitely a way that you could share the product and get some pre-orders. So these will launch in campaign 5. Go back to sharing my screen with you. Okay, so I placed and rolled, I touched and swept. Oop, and that's pretty much it. I think most of you know how to put mascara on, but hey, there's representatives out there that are President's Club that don't wear makeup. So there are people out there that still, don't necessarily know how to use it, and yet still they've been very successful. So imagine how much more they can sell when they know more about how to apply. And of course, if you're gonna go anywhere sharing makeup, I always have makeup remover wipes. That way you can demonstrate one more product. These are $8 when they're not on sale. And they're just really great for taking makeup off or just taking it off your hands if you get any on there. Or keeping next to your bed if you're lazy at night and don't want to wash your face. All right, so 94 samples for $9.99. This was a sampling challenge that we did, and we had this for sale a few campaigns ago, and it was, guaranteed. If you didn't make your money back, Avon will give you your money back for those samples that you purchased, because new Avon is really all about sampling and showing the products, getting the customer by putting that little investment into the customer, right? So you're earning that customer by showing her different products that you have and letting her try before she buys. Smart sampling, the seeds of recruiting success. As you can see here, it might start with a little skincare and then some Anew and some lipstick bullets and fragrance, and it can grow from there where, you've got all these people buying from you, and eventually some of them may want to join your team. So here's some tips for smart sampling. Attach your sample to the brochure. Now, I've seen people do this and then the brochures never get out, right? Sometimes we start off with these great intentions and it just doesn't pan out. So make sure that you set a goal for yourself. You know what? I'm going to put this on 50 brochures and I'm going to go out for the next 10 days and I'm going to get 5 of them out a day. I'm just going to do it. And I'm going to put those 5 in my car and I'm not getting home until all 5 are gone. But not only do we need to distribute, we have to follow up. You can follow up with a text, Facebook message, a phone call. And then when they call or when you contact them about it, you can, how was that sample? Oh, I really liked it, but I also need some Skin So Soft. Oh, okay, well, I'll order your Skin So Soft. So how many of that particular product that you sampled would you like to add to your order? Okay, so now you're adding on. But don't be afraid to ask for that sale. If you don't follow up with that sample, it may not turn into a sale, just honestly. And if they didn't like it, that's okay. Find out what they didn't like and what they're looking for and get them something different. Make them work for it. I love this idea of using a Facebook poll to give away the samples for the comments with the most likes. Okay, so for example, we have right here, which True Color shadow do you like best? The comment with the most likes wins a sample of our new eye cream. Okay, so I like that one as opposed to maybe, comment below if you would like a sample. Now, I've used both in the past, so I can't say that the comment below for a sample is necessarily a bad post. But what this post does is it's almost like every comment is a testimonial about the product. And at our upcoming meeting in February, which I will have a date out for you all very, very soon, you will be going home with lots of goodies. You'll be going home with a mask, a glimmer stick, these new lipstick samples. It's going to be really good. So not like a regular sales meeting where you might go home with 1 pack of samples. So you'll definitely want to be there. And sample for the occasion. If you know that you're going to be at a Little League game or soccer game, or you're going camping, think about what type of samples people would want. You may just bring your own bottle of Bug Guard and get orders from it that way. Really, when you're in a situation like that, it's supply and demand. So if you have some on hand, you could definitely sell. So Ticket to Boss Life, campaigns 2 through 13. When you find anyone on your own who is interested in being an Avon representative and they sign up under you on your e-store and they place their first order of $150 in their first or second campaign and pay for it on time, you are going to get a winning ticket sent to you, okay? Every single one of these tickets is a winner, okay? You could win brochures for a year. You could win $10,000. You could win a Disney trip. You could win an iPad. You could win $100. But when you get that scratch off ticket, call your upline, call your friends, call your manager, bring it to a meeting or videotape it because we want to see what you win. Okay, so don't keep it to yourself. We want to see all of your happiness when you open that up, and I definitely want to see the $10,000 winner. Next thing we have is a fabulous way for every single representative on this call and in this district to win a vacation. And I shouldn't even say win. It's earn a vacation, because you do, you get. That means if you do everything listed here, you will get this vacation, all expenses paid, Paradise Island, Bahamas to Atlantis. I mean, just looking at it just makes me, I don't know, sad that it's freezing and cold here, right? It looks absolutely incredible. It does look like paradise. So here's how you do it. You earn points. Now they're called leader points, but don't let that confuse you. It's just points for, you can call them Bahamas points. But here's how you do it. You earn the points from campaigns 3 through 9, okay? Here's something you can definitely do starting on Monday when you place your order. Sell $300 or more in a campaign. Each campaign that you do that, you're going to get 75 points, okay? That's 525 total points if you do this for campaigns 3 through 9. And you only need 2,500 to go. Now, if you want to take someone with you, it's $4,000. There will also be a buy-in option for you to bring someone else, and they just have to be 13 or older. So start looking at getting a passport now or checking to see if yours is still valid. Here's how you get your other points. You find a team member from an Avon source, such as Alma. Now, Alma, if you currently don't have anyone underneath you, then you can kind of ignore the Alma part right now until you get some people under you. But when that person places their first order, it's $150 and paid for on time, you're going to get 150 points. But you know what? You're going to get way more points if you find someone from your own source. Okay? You find a friend. You find a sister that lives out of town. You find, I mean, just anybody that you find anywhere in the country, they can sign up under you. Okay? They go to your e-store and they click on Boss Life and sign up right there. And your upline or your manager and their manager, if they're not local, will help support them in their business. You're going to get 300 points. Then if you advance leadership achievement title, and they're looking at the title you were in campaign 2, you're going to get 1,000 points. So if you have, Bria, I know you're on this call, I'm going to use you as an example. When you hit ambassador, you are, or bronze ambassador, which is that first level of titled leadership, you're going to get 1,000 points. And then I'm going to use Teresa as another example. Teresa, when you mentor someone in your first generation to become an ambassador, a silver ambassador, whatever it may be, to promote in their title, can't be star promoter or promoter, you're going to get 500 points. So Avon is rewarding you for all the hard work that you've put into helping that person with their business. All right, so start strategizing. If this is something that you want to do, contact your upline or contact your manager, and we will help you come up with a plan because we want to see you go to Bahamas as well. Well, that is all that I have for our sales meeting today. There is one more thing, actually. I shouldn't say that's all that I have. One lucky person on this call is going to get, let me see here, I'm going to stop my share for a second. One lucky person on this call is going to get a pack of masks, a lipstick, a glimmer stick, an always on point eyeliner, a pack of makeup remover wipes, and I'll probably add one more thing, but I know those are for sure. So I have a number written down between 1 and 100, and I'm going to ship this to the winner, so you're not going to have to wait for the next meeting or anything like that. And I just want you to type in the chat box, you can find that, type what your number is, and then I have 2 people who called in here. I think it's Bria and it might be Glenda Reeves. So you can take your phones off mute and just tell me what your number is, 1 and 100. All right, I got one from Teresa. Joanne? Let me see here. 72, 17, 30. Who else have we got?
Pat Gilbert's on the call.
Oh, is that Pat? What's your number?
I'll say 10.
10. All right. Bria, do we have a number from you? Bria, you look like you're on, like, Are You Afraid of the Dark? You're flickering in here. Bria, do we have a number from you?
66.
That was it. All right, that's crazy. Okay, see, they didn't give me enough time to like write that down or anything. It seriously was 66. That's nuts. Okay, so Bria, and you know what? I'm actually, not that I wouldn't want anyone else on this call to get this, but Bria, as the newest representative on this call, I think that these samples could be really beneficial for you. So I will put these in the mail to you. My only request is that you text or email me your address, and that will be my reminder to put it in the mail to you tomorrow. And I just really appreciate all of you being on the call today. I'm going to stop the recording in just a few minutes, and then I'll stay on for a little bit.